of the installation dedication.
Good afternoon again. You guys look great. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all today. I just have a few things I need to read off. One of the things that we do is want to make sure we acknowledge everyone that's been a part of this process. Aside from everyone here, you guys did a tremendous job. I heard one story that this process took many years, maybe upwards to, I don't know, 30 years. Something that we've heard before, and just the diligence and just that vision and perspective to know that this is important means a lot to us as an organization, but it means a lot to me personally as well. And again, it's kind of like what we heard. This marker is bigger than just the church itself. This is about the community. This is about this part of Ohio, this southern part of Ohio. And if you guys know anything about history, you understand that our churches were the cornerstones of our community. It wasn't just a church. It wasn't just a school building. It was where the culture, the people came together and shielded each other. And I mean, I could go on and on. I know we don't have that much time. But I appreciate you guys and the invitation. I want to read something real quick. The Ohio History or Historical Markers, our program, it actually began in 1957. It's a program that we're all really proud of, and like I mentioned to you guys before, we're working to improve this program to make sure the process is even more streamlined. 30 years doesn't make sense to me. We shouldn't have to do that, but even the 3 years we heard, we're trying to streamline that. But it's the kind of program that allows the local communities to, for themselves, identify, honor, commemorate the important people, the places, and events that's contributed to their past, and share those stories with the entire world. So our mission as an organization is to speak or to spark discovery of Ohio stories, hidden stories, stories that we sort of think we know but may not know, but to embrace the present, share the past, and transform the future. That's part of my job, is helping to transform the future. And we try to do this every day, and we obviously can't do that alone, which is why these sorts of things are so vital to what we do. So your marker is actually, I believe it's the 1,750th that we have in our system statewide. That's an important number because, and I had a conversation with Payne earlier, less than 3% of all of those deal with African American history, deal with women, deal with American Indian history. So we have to increase those numbers. That's why this is so vital, so important to us. This marker honoring Union Baptist Church now joins all of those in telling, in my opinion, a much more complete story of Ohio history. So this is super important for us. I'm holding in my hand just a couple of commendations that I want to deliver. The first one, and then just kind of, again, to capstone the hard work to get this here, but even to put this program on. So Ms. Booker, Union Baptist Church, hats off to you guys, because I know a lot of work went into this and took a lot of time, so thank you. The first commendation that I have, and this is from the Ohio History Connection, our organization as a whole, and this is signed by our brand new CEO and director, Megan Wood. She is our first woman CEO and director in our 180-something year history. She was super excited to sign off on this. And our brand new board chair, Charlie Moses, they both loved what was going on here, and they were very much involved in all of this. So this commendation is for Ms. Booker, if you want to come up. And this is just for furthering the knowledge of our state's heritage by placing an Ohio historical marker to tell the story of Union Baptist Church and its important place in Ohio history. Again, signed by our CEO and our board president, Charlie Moses. I have one other, and this is for Union Baptist Church. It's the same one. It's for furthering the knowledge of our state's heritage by placing an Ohio historical marker to tell the story of Union Baptist Church and its important place in Ohio history. This is for the entire church, Union Baptist Church. I have one last commendation. This comes from Governor DeWine. the governor of the state of Ohio. I won't read the entire thing, but this is to Union Baptist Church as a whole for the historical marker. And it's on behalf of the entire state of Ohio, and welcome those, and I'm going to read part of this. We welcome all of those gathered for the placement of an Ohio historical marker. Historical markers reflect and honor the people, places, and events associated with our state's rich history, and through this reflection, encourage appreciation of our past as we look to our future. We commend all those involved for ensuring our state's history is preserved and remembered, and we extend our best wishes for a memorable event, signed by both Mike DeWine and John Houston.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, one last part I need to read. One of the things that we want to do is make sure you all understand that our role was only to guide and advise through this process, not to do this process with you guys for you. You guys did a tremendous job, and I also want to make sure that we understand that the production of the historical marker doesn't go through the Ohio History Connection. It's actually through SUA Studios, which is actually in Marietta, and even the maintenance of this hopefully won't have to have any maintenance for a very long time, but it also will go through them as well, and we can help walk through this process. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you very
I'd like to say to the dignitaries, moderators, clergy, Christian and friends, thank you. Thank you for coming. This historic marker, the dedication service, to say thank you. It's been a long journey. It started some 30 plus years ago. Deacon Watson, Adrian Watson, we call him Weezer. He introduced us to Union Baptist that we should be entitled to get a marker. He worked on it, lived in Columbus, traveled highway up and down the highway, and I don't know what happened, we never did get it. It went on for several years. Then Sister Lee, Sister Sharon Downey, they worked on it. Traveled up and down the highway, they did research, they reached out to different ones, got different information, different paperwork. And Sharon's health got bad, it slowed down. And one day we was up here at the church for Anthony's graveside service. I was standing out there, and I seen Sister Sonia and Lucretia. They just come walking through the car. God spoke to me. He said, "Them girls, approach them and tell them what you need." So I talked to them right there, and they said, "We'll work on it." But you see what God did. He used a deacon to start it. He used a school teacher and a nurse as wisdom in the middle. And he used another school teacher and a nurse to take us over the finish line. Or do you get more patience than a school teacher or a nurse? They're more humble. It took a lot of patience, a lot of humble, a lot of prayers. I knew that Sister Sonia and Sister Lucretia, they reached out to different ones. But you go back more than 30 years ago. I wasn't here, but I did marry one of them. That was in my grandmother's class. Sister Lil, God, y'all heard a little bit about it. But she was a beginner Sunday school class teacher in there. She had the children's band. And she worked. She didn't only teach them, she trained them. And I heard my wife say many times, this Sister Lil had a heart of gold. And so that seed came down for her daughters and to the granddaughters, which is the three of them. Sister Andrew too, you know, she read the church history. So through them, we got this marker. But when they're doing it for the glory of God, when you're doing God's work, you can do everything but fail. They had low nose, dots was dotted, T's was crossed, but there's a lot of times they said, no, you need this, you need to change this, you need more of this. But they wouldn't take no for an answer, they kept on. And so we thank them today. You heard about all about the church history. Now you heard about how we got the marker. So I'd like to have a big hand for Tom. The gentleman got saved. That's important. That's the most important thing. And we'll probably never meet here all of us again together. One thing I'd like for us to do as we leave here, all of us recite the Lord's Prayer together. That's one thing we can all do together as we leave here today.
Yes.
So let us recite the Lord's Prayer.
Can I say something? Now this has been bothering me because my brother-in-law laid me down.
Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Okay, now I was told that there's a cemetery across the road that has markers. Because I left Blackfork and when I was 19, and I've just been back and forth. If there's a big day here at the church, and if I wasn't working at the hospital, I'd be here. And that's been bothering me. If there's markers across the road, if there are any names or anything on them.
Hey, Robert, do you know anything about any markers across the road?
No, only thing